everyone, it's time for another Blood Bowl match report in the Club League, and I'm still with my back against the wall for the ranking. Will this be the match the sleeping giant finally awakens? Because I've got by far the highest rating. And I will tackle them with knives and alchemical flame. I lost the first league game against these pesky dodgy elves, but now I'm bringing 2 bull centaurs and a minotaur, as well as a trainload of additional skills including a flamesmith with block and tackle. Many a hope rests on his shoulders tonight. I know we will always line up with 3 linemen at the kicking end, who'll dodge away at first chance, so they will have to be taken down immediately, and hopefully the sure hands and pro skills will help getting the ball off the floor and to the needed players. I was forced to kick off first, launching the ball in his half before starting to push up the line as he didn't get away fast enough, in what was about his only failed block of the game. Unfortunately, it was there where only some stunt results arrived, so yeah, they were still around. His thrower went to collect the ball, and as most of his line was down, he started to look for an opening for them to slip through. One of them tried to go through the right field, but he was collected by the raging train wreck and Fix-It, and knocked over before a pass could come his way. But on the other side, his star blitzer slipped through, and we failed to intercept the pass. The ball landed in the hands of the elf, merely squares away from my end zone. But Carven Loreflame reached him, and belched a ball of alchemical fire, knocking the blitzer over. The ball scattered into his waiting hands, but as soon as he turned around, 2 swift elves ganged up on him, whom dodged through the lines to try and take back the ball. It fell to the floor, but as more Chaos Dwarf players came to aid, we didn't get any of them down, unfortunately. In the meantime, his injury box was filling with 2 already taken out, so that would give me an additional league point unless I suffered a casualty myself. On the other side of the pitch, the Chaos Dwarfs were causing havoc, smashing over elf after elf. If we could get that ball out of my half, the road to the end zone was wide open. But elves being elves, and who cares simply about tackle zones, while my players could just stare at that nimbleness. The star blitzer scrambled up, received the ball and scored a 0-1 after the raging trainwreck was injured, but healed by the apothecary in a 1-die block. And that wouldn't be the last time a 1-die block was purely his way with a full smash. We set up again for the final turns of the half, numbers coming on the pitch to try and pick up the ball. Which he duly did, only to fumble the pass to the raging trainwreck, who could have launched himself for the equalizer, as the whole field was wide open after the Chaos Dwarf demolition works. The half ended, and we set up to receive at the start of the second one. His front line was pushed over again as numbers went to pick up the ball once more. However, his pass failed again. Heck, at least we are picking it up now. So far for pro, and it fell amongst my players. And guess what? Of course some elf comes in, dodges, picks it up before dodging out again without failing a single roll. And well, it wasn't helped by the fact that Hot Milky Nipple started to rage at some clouds for 3 turns in a row. Ragnar Karadras went to greet some of the fans in the meantime on the other flank. And all we could do was take the running elf down, but unfortunately the position was swamped with more of them, so it wouldn't be easy to collect the ball. And the blitzer cut through the tackle zones as a knife through hot butter, scoring the 0-2, and my only remaining chances now for the game were to pull out a draw at most. And then I had to score every 2 turns. We lined up to receive the pass, but Numbers got into an argument with the referee, and he was stunned by him. But then a sudden flash of a knife from one of the stabbers plunged into the heart of an elfin lineman, and even with his apothecary doing the best he could, he ended up dead. We might lose, but that pesky elf won't tell the tale. The raging trainwreck got the ball, and the Chaos Dwarfs started to pummel their way through the line of scrimmage. Going in tandem with Cotconis Grande, both bull centaurs went to the right flank to try and score the goal of grace. But alas, the swift elves ran over, and another 1-die block took down the raging trainwreck, causing him to drop the ball. 2 strength 4 bull centaurs versus 3 strength 3 elves, and still he managed to pummel me over on a full hit with 1 dice. We did manage to pick it up again, but time had ran out and the bull centaurs were now locked on the flank of the pitch and couldn't reach the end zone anymore. To add insult to injury, he then proceeded to knock over Cotconis Grande again on a 1-die block and again with a full smash. So the game ended with a 0-2, and well, that was a bit frustrating, but it was well played of course by him. Cojones Grande was elected the MVP, so he's getting close to pick up his first skill, and having caused 5 casualties, we picked up at least a second point for the league. So yeah, one of them was dead. Dead! We crawled back into 8th position for the moment, and reached our 10 games requirements to be allowed to enter the playoffs at least. But I really need that win to consolidate myself up there in that top 8, as it is very close between spot 7, who has 21 points, and spot 10, who has 16 points, knowing that in this league, if all goes well in casualties and number of touchdowns and winning, you can actually score 5 points maximum for a game. So let's see if we manage next time to grab some. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye. Did you like the Chaos Dwarf content in this video and want to know more about Chaos Dwarfs? Then check out the Chaos Dwarf online forum by scanning the QR code you now see on screen.